Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason, think about this. Wrapping up January already. Where does it go? You know, somebody said, gosh, January's taking forever. I mean, I think it's just flying. But maybe they think it's taking forever. So much going on. We had Barrett Jackson wrapping up this weekend. We had NFL football and all that stuff. We had a tariff war for, I don't know, 10 hours or so with Colombia. We had really so much more. Hexit got approved. Now, this week we got RFK. We've got, I'm drawing a blank on her name. Gabby is on slate as well this week. Those are going to be interesting. Can the Republicans hold it together? And then, of course, we've got the Federal Reserve this week. Yeah, are they, of course, Donald Trump demanding that they lower rates. Don't think he's going to get it. But you know what? None of that. Oh, I forgot so many. That's like it's so many. Are the suggestion by Donald Trump that Jordan and Egypt take all the Palestinians and we'll just empty out Gaza completely and, I don't know, maybe build the Trump Tower there. So much. Wow, so much. But today the news really focused around AI. We had that huge announcement last week. Remember, we talked about it here. OpenAI, SoftBank, NVIDIA, hey, how much? They're up to $500 billion they're going to spend. Not to mention that Microsoft said, hey, I don't know what they're doing. You know, we're going to spend $80 billion. Meta said we're spending $60 billion. Spend. I was like, yes. But then something very interesting happened. Apparently, I guess we shouldn't be surprised. The Chinese just entered the game. And apparently entered the game with things that almost would seem unbelievable. When you think about the amount of money U.S. firms have been spending, of course, the fact that we say, hey, you can't have all these, certain chips, and you got to stack them up, Jason. You got to stack them up and build like the super data storage supercomputer, take all this power, spend all this money to get it to work, right? That's the thing. Hey, how can AI do all this stuff? We got to stack all this stuff together. And, of course, I'm oversimplifying. Well, the Chinese said, hey, well, we just started this thing. We call it Deepseek. Deepseek. And they said, hey, we spent $5.6 million in training our AI. Now, to give you an idea of how little that is, when you think about the U.S.'s AIs, like Chat GPT and all these others, these companies are spending hundreds of millions. They anticipate this year they're going to spend billions of dollars training their AIs. Okay. Now, China said we spent $5.6 billion training ours. Multiple. So I was talking to Jason earlier. I saw this break late Friday. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna get too excited. Because just putting it out there, sometimes, and a lot of times, people like to exaggerate. Right? Like this 500 billion Stargate thing. Well, that's maybe 500 billion. Right? Right? We're probably going to do $100 billion, and then we'll see. But it could get there. I don't know if a lot of you remember when Trump, his first term, they said Foxconn was going to build factories here. Remember, like Wisconsin was going to get a big Foxconn factory. They're going to spend billions. And then, of course, they didn't. Right? They ended up doing nothing. We don't know. But I thought, okay, maybe this is an exaggeration. Because here's what broke. Started on Friday. China's SeatGeek outperformed all of the U.S. counterparts' AIs. And then I thought, okay, well, calm down. I don't know enough details yet. All weekend, more and more stuff was coming up. Multiple sources. Mark Andreessen, who is probably the most credible U.S. guy. I don't know if you guys remember him. He's a big Silicon Valley investor that switched over to Donald Trump this year, right? And said, hey, screw, the Democrats don't know what they're doing. I'm gonna go with Trump. He's out there saying that this may be, well, he called it the Sputnik moment, but said that this has been incredible what the Chinese have been able to do and how little it actually cost. We'll be back right after the break. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason here on this Monday, allamericangold.com. And this will be one of the things, and this is, we'll see. We'll see. I'm just going to say we'll see. But right now, it truly appears that this may be the real deal. And if that is true, this may change things when we talk about the Mag 7 stocks at Wall Street in general. You know, it reminds me, you go back, remember the .com bubble? Listen, the internet was the real deal. It was. But all of the riches that were going to be made from it, that turned out to not be real. And I'm hoping that this isn't the case, but it looks similar here. We'll see. And a lot of people have said this, that this AI felt very .com-ish. We'll see. But look, right now, let's look at the markets right now. The Dow, not bad. It's not bad. Of course, NVIDIA and these chip guys, they're not really there. Down 25. The S&P is down 100. The NASDAQ is down almost 600. I'll say this, I don't know, and obviously it's early, but when I'm looking at, right now, gold's down 30, and Bitcoin went back below 100,000. This could be a big sell-off later. We'll see. Right now, if it can stay right here, okay, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow. But we'll keep looking at it right now. The 10-year note, 4.55. So a little relief. 10-year note was back above 4.6. You got to remember, we got the Fed this week. So we'll see what they say about rate cuts. But like I said, gold's down 28 right now, 27.43. Now, some of that probably was going to happen. Gold touched the all-time high again on Friday. And usually when that happens, that first time it touches it again, you get a little sell-off and try to find a higher high. But obviously, a lot of selling right now. A lot of people worried about what just came out And it's interesting with the Stargate announcement. How much did these guys know already before that announcement? I'm just saying. Silver, probably one of the better performers, only down 29 cents here at $30.25. And again, don't forget, especially if you got big IRAs, taking some of that and putting it into a gold and silver IRA is a great way to get yourself protected. You know, because a lot of people, that is their retirement. Hey, I spend my weekly allotment of money. I spend my paychecks on my house, on my cars, my insurance, my kids, whatever it may be. We spend that. My 401k, my wife's 401k, that's all we had. That's all we had. You can roll part of that over into a precious metals IRA. And, of course, obviously, we don't know yet. But if something like this ends up being accurate, we're going to dive into it here, it could very much take a lot of the air out of the bubble here. But if you want to do that, give us a call here, 800-951-0592. Okay, so what's the deal here? Here's what's happened. So China's Deepseek, they are offering, this is, by the way, it's an open AI system, right? So hey, whoever wants to help us make it better, help us. They offer all of, now, you guys know this, and I don't know if maybe you do or don't, but you can get a free version of AI, some form of a chat GTP. Everyone can get a free version. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about the free version. We're talking about the premium versions. Okay? So the stuff that companies would pay so they can fire people. Because, I mean, what do they really want? You know, if you're a company, hey, if OpenAI, right, and if I can get everybody to, instead of calling an 800 number, just log on to our website, and the AI will help you. Right? And then we don't have to hire, people to answer phones and stuff like this and blah, blah, blah. You got to have a premium thing. This is free. The amount it costs to train it, according to China, Jason, it's so far below what U.S. companies are spending to, quote-unquote, train their premium AI models. Right? Like Jason said this all the time. AI does what it's programmed to do. Well, here's what China says. Now, on the one part, I want to make this clear. It appears that Deepseek definitely uses the NVIDIA chips. Now, I don't know. They're not supposed to have them, but you know how that goes. I can't confirm that, but I'm just telling you that a lot of people are saying that that's what it's using. But here's the thing. Deepseek, you don't need to put thousands of them together. Right? So think about what like Meta, and think about Microsoft, and I told you, Meta said 60 billion, Microsoft said 80 billion. This Stargate, hey, they're going to start with 100 billion. And what happened was they took the best of the U.S. stuff. They took the Chinese SeatGeek, and multiple people tested. So this was the good thing. It wasn't a Chinese company or this. No, it was like all these companies in the space. So this isn't based upon one person doing it. This was based upon a multitude of highly respected people. Again, I use Mark Andreessen as one of them. Bloomberg as another. They called it terrific news for global growth and productivity. That this new free open source large language model undermines the massive premiums paid for AI research and development by U.S. megacap stocks, warning that the catalyst could be served as an end to the 15 years of U.S. stock market expectations. That was Bloomberg. Right, saying, hey, we got a problem here. Obviously, NVIDIA stock is down over 13% this morning. And Jason, I guess we'll have to wait and see what is happening here. According to Scale AI, their CEO, which provides data for training models, told CNBC in an interview that he believed Deepseek had access to 50,000 of these NVIDIA chips. But again, I don't know, a lot of desperation here. A lot of people nervous that somehow the Chinese were able to do the exact same thing. And actually, think about this. We can do it for a fraction of the cost. Hey, these companies are spending close to $1 billion. We did it for $6.5 million. We did it for a fraction of the cost. Oh, and by the way, we didn't need to stack thousands of NVIDIA chips to do it. And not only that, so it's never great when someone says, hey, I can do the same thing for less. What this said was, we can do the exact same things better and for a hell of a lot less, Jason. I mean, that's like the ultimate kiss of death.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those, it's not a rare case, but it happens regularly where communism once in a while exposes the so-called capitalist system for being corrupt. You know, because doesn't it just seem like overcharging is going on, Joe? Doesn't it seem like they're overselling what AI? It seems like AI has been oversold ever since I've heard about it. AI, they just blow it out, and it's not even artificial intelligence. It's an algorithm that's at a higher level. You know, the artificial intelligence is unachievable, and China, for whatever reason, is not going to make a better profit off it. They're going to collapse the West's version of it. That's what it looks like, Joe.
Yeah, so here's Mark Andreessen. Besides calling it the Sputnik moment, called Deepseek's products one of the most amazing and impressive breakthroughs I've ever seen. A profound gift to the world. Others saying that Deepseek, which clearly doesn't have access to as much computing power as U.S. hyperscalers, and yet somehow managed to develop a model that not only appears to be highly competitive, but appears to work even better. These are, again, it's a big thing here. The model, people are saying this looks fantastic. The team said they shouldn't be thought of as miracles. And the panic of the death knell of the AI infrastructure as we know it, that may be an overstatement. Jason, it doesn't look like it, at least right now. We'll have to wait to see, is this going to affect how the world views it? Again, I'm worried about this. I think this could get uglier here. Now the Nasdaq's down 600 in 50 points as again, a lot of people highly, okay, NVIDIA is now down 16%, so losses getting bigger here. Highly respected people coming out and saying, how could this be? But yet here it is. Look at what they did, right? And why couldn't Microsoft or why couldn't Meta or Oracle or Open? Why are none of these U.S. companies able to do this? I think, Jason, that's the shocking part of all of this, because I get it, right? We always think the Chinese are really good at duplication, right? They can duplicate anything, but they're not thought of as the innovator that the United States is. Now, I don't know if it's using NVIDIA chips or not. My guess is they probably are. That would be my guess. But I don't know that. But what they proved here is clearly they innovated better than what the United States did, and now the rest of the world can have all of this for a fraction of the cost. Yeah, that could definitely be problematic. Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason will be back. 800-951-0592. Joe and Jason, Patriot Radio News Hour on this Monday. This was not what I was going to talk about, and it just kind of happened here. Deepseek saying it has been hit now with a large-scale cyber attack. Not surprised here. This could be a very defining moment when we look at the AI-fueled rally that has been going on here. You know, the idea is more is better. The more of these chips we stack on top of each other, the more computing power we have, the better it's going to be. Well, like a lot of things, more isn't always better, and apparently that's what China did. Hey, you don't need to do all that. We can get the same. Matter of fact, we can get better results with a whole lot less. So we'll keep everything posted in there. It's going to be an interesting week this week. This is a big week, Jason, because we also got the Fed starting tomorrow. We'll get the Fed. I don't think they're going to cut rates tomorrow. Wednesday. I think that would shock the market. You'd probably have all-time high gold. Not probably you would. I think it's going to be about how much pressure is the Fed feeling from Donald Trump, and how many rate cuts are they still expecting to do, and what the worry is about inflation.
Well, real quick with the AI, it makes me wonder if last week all of the bluster and all the chest puffing that was coming from the inauguration and all the billionaires in the balcony, so to speak. How much am I going to tariff China? It makes me wonder if this has a lot to do with they knew this was coming, and this was the negotiations. And I wonder if Trump did not get what he wanted, and the next step, you said they're being hacked now. That the Chinese company is being hacked, right? Now I wonder if the next step is, well, you know what? You're going to do really well with this, so we're just going to tax it, and we're going to put tariffs on it. It just makes me wonder if that was what was going on next week.
Interesting. Listen, yeah, I think Donald Trump right now is going to try to limit the damage by using, I'll call it what he did to Colombia. So I don't know if you saw over the weekend, Colombia said, nope, you're not allowed to bring the illegals back here. We're not going to let your planes land. So Donald Trump said, oh, really? Okay, well, guess what? Starting effective immediately, a 25% tariff on all incoming goods from Colombia, and I'll give you 1 week, and after 1 week, it's going to be 50% tariffs, and then all of a sudden, Colombia's like, oh, just kidding. What? Oh, did we say that? Oh, we didn't mean it. We didn't mean it. Just kidding. You go ahead. Matter of fact, tell you what. We are just kidding so much that we'll bring our own planes to get them, right? They're going to bring the Colombian presidential plane to pick them up and bring them back, right? The type of a thing. And I think Trump will try to do the same, right? He'll warn companies about using Deepseek instead of the U.S. products. But again, obviously that could have an effect on, stuff like Microsoft and Meta and all that other stuff. How much effect does that have on Asian countries, European countries, African countries? I don't know.
So that, but Joe, that's what I'm saying is gathering the billionaires as he did is, who cares if some average countries might use China's, AI? What about Mark Zuckerberg using it? You see how he gathered these guys together the last couple of weeks? He's like, hey, I need to get the biggest financial entities in the boat, right, Joe? And not really necessarily the biggest financial countries. We all know Elon Musk is bigger than most countries, right? So definitely it seems like there is some gaming going on when it comes to this particular situation and technology. And China, as you said, Friday took a swipe, right? And we'll see. I think you're right. Markets are going to be trembling because I bet there's some heavy-duty negotiations going on, Joe, about all of this. And I think that's why NVIDIA is only down 16% and not down 60%, Joe.
Well, listen, I think that if, and we don't know here, if China said they had done this without NVIDIA chips, then this would be a wipeout, right? This would be a total wipeout. We haven't been told that. As of right now, there's only speculation from good sources that they are NVIDIA's chips. Like I said, the difference is, man, you don't, like, essentially what China's already saying is, hey, guess what? Microsoft, Apple, Google, you already bought more chips than you need. Right? They're talking about, we're going to spend $60 billion in more chips. And they're like, yeah, you don't need more chips. But that's the problem. And, guess what? If you do it our way, not only do you not need any more chips, it'll actually be better. Right? And it will, all that money you're spending, all that R&D money you're spending, you're throwing it away. Right? Because the potential has always been, the worry has always been, well, what if bigger isn't better? And, of course, they're banking on, no, if we just stack enough of them, right? If we put enough of them together, somehow we'll create the super AI, and that may not be true. And if that's the case, then right there's that's a big problem, right?
And maybe part of what NVIDIA's big rise in price value is because China's been scooping up chips to get their AI done, and just like they've been scooping up gold, right? If they no longer need huge amounts of NVIDIA chips if they've stacked up enough, right, Joe? You're right. One, they don't need as many, and two, other companies are stacked up and holding. It's a classic Ponzi scheme if you're talking this way in chips, Joe. Can you imagine how many people are holding bags and bags of chips?
And again, it's early yet. We'll figure out more. I did get from somebody that I consider to be
reliable.
Yes, a reliable source is telling me that Paul Pelosi sold all of his NVIDIA stock last week. I don't know if that's true or not, but
oh boy, that sounds right. Hasn't she been hiding out? She's been hiding out in another country. Maybe this is why she's hiding out.
Yes. I don't know, but I don't know that to be true either. I'm just saying. I don't follow Pelosi, but maybe he did. But in any event, when we get back, I'm going to have a 2025 Silver Eagle special for those of you who've been waiting to buy 2025 silver, plus a few other things. Just stay with us. We'll be right back. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. I don't mean to laugh. This is just nuts. Breaking news here. Deepseek has become the number one downloaded app in the United States as of this morning. Deepseek has become the most downloaded app in the Apple and Microsoft stores. This thing definitely, Jason, showing legs here. So something to watch out for. Are we going to get another ByteDance moment here? Could this possibly be another situation where the U.S. government is going to either try to force the sale of this Chinese company or stop people from downloading it? Obviously, it's free. So you own a company, you don't have to get the like I said, this is not the free version anybody can get on ChatGPT as an example. This is supposed to be like the premium, the Cadillac one. The one that, hey, will allow you to replace workers and do all this stuff. SeatGeek says you can have it for free. So we'll have to wait and see here. But I just wanted to throw that out there. It is already exploded here. It is now the most downloaded app in the United States. Today's special U.S. Silver Eagles 2025. So for those of you that have been waiting for 2025s, today is your day. $725. And here's the best part. They'll be here at the latest next Tuesday, probably closer to the end of the week. $725 for a roll of 2025 U.S. Silver Eagles today at 800-951-0592. We've got 5-ounce silver bars are $170. $20 gold piece. Listen, gold's down 30. Guess what? $20 gold. Downright with it. $20 gold pieces today. $27.35. Spot gold's $27.40. So $5 below spot. Great opportunities. I think we sold out. We had that great special, man. That Morgan and Peace dollar special we ran Friday. We're out. We sold out of all of those. But take advantage here if you've been waiting for 2025s. This is, by the way, that they like to charge more for the 2025s right now, but not here at Patriot. $725 at 800-951-0592. And Jason, it's been a big morning, big news. Obviously, what's coming out from Deepseek. Deepseek, I think I've been calling it SeatGeek. Deepseek is the name of the company. This is the Chinese version of it. Former Google CEO Eric Schmidt is acknowledging that China has caught up significantly in recent months. So now, Jason, this sounds like it's the real deal here. So now, former Google CEO Eric Schmidt saying that China has obviously significantly caught up here. This is going to be something over the next weeks and months. It's going to be interesting how this plays out.
Sounds like they did more than catch up, didn't it? Sounds like they took the lead here in this one from what you're reading, Joe.
Yeah, they said that they outperformed OpenAI's GPT-4, Meta's, Llama, whatever the Meta's calling theirs, they included a subset of 500 math problems, an AI math evaluation, coding competition, and assessments for identifying and fixing bugs in code. For instance, in Math 500, it recorded a 97.3 compared to the competitors of 96.4. So it scored better. It cost a fraction, but they said that, listen, it was across the board. The best thing that I guess our versions could say was, well, in this particular test, we scored the same. But in most of the tests, they got outperformed by China's Deepseek. And I apologize for calling it the wrong name, Deepseek. They're saying, to give content, China spent $5.6 million to train. OpenAI spends $5 billion on a similar product. Google says they expect to spend over $50 billion. Microsoft shelled out more than $13 billion on its OpenAI resource, BBG. So, Jason, this is like apples and oranges here. I mean, $6 million is like, I'm sorry. That's like me and you having 50 cents fall out of our pocket compared to these companies spending billions, tens of billions of dollars. So it's going to be interesting. We'll see how Wall Street continues to react here. Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason on this Monday. It's still early with Wall Street here. We'll see. Is the sell-off going to get worse before it gets better here? 2025 U.S. Silver Eagles on sale today at $725, a roll of 20. $20 Liberties on sale at $27.35. 5-ounce silver bars on sale. You know what? I'll tell you what. I said 170. We'll go 165 on 5-ounce silver bars at 800-951-0592. Definitely worrisome as more and more now. This looks like to be the real deal. That China has essentially, not only have they caught up in the AI race, but Jason, it clearly looks like they have taken the lead, and they've taken the lead in dominating fashion, literally outperforming all the other major AIs out there. Someone just sent me a leak. Here it is. Wow, come on. Paul Pelosi discloses the sale of NVIDIA and Apple shares. So it looks like, this was last week that Pelosi did dump this stock. So I guess somebody must have known something. I don't know.
Joe, just look at the behavior around Trump's inauguration on Monday, and all the tech guys that he's been gathering, and trying. This is definitely looking like either one, he needs to get these guys to perform. You get a lot of eggheads in the room. It's like we got to come up with something better. Or he's trying to figure out how to, like you said, fight the financial implications of what's about ready to happen. So Paul Pelosi being in the same neighborhood, Washington, D.C., he's like, oh, I hear what's going on. Let's dump, right? Just dump all this stuff. So that's how it works, I guess, in Washington, D.C., Joe.
You know what? I'm just starting to wonder here. are they running for cover to Donald Trump? That did these, and I don't know, but I kind of, let's face it, all of these tests weren't happening in a vacuum and whatnot. Were these tech CEOs all of a sudden chumming up to Trump because they knew this was coming, that China was going to jump out here and they need Donald Trump to do something here? Like I said, thankfully, I guess that however long this attack lasts for Deepseek, they're already more people are downloading Deepseek today than any other app out there all over the world. And listen, the cyber, we don't, that may take it down for an hour or a day, but it certainly looks like the cat is out of the bag here. And these CEOs, listen, they're going to have some explaining to do as to how all of this happened. And then the question is, now what? Now what happens? Because it's out there, right? Do we have another TikTok, a.k.a. ByteDance issue now with OpenAI? And then, of course, the biggest problem is, well, apparently this can be done for a whole heck of a lot less than what they've been saying. Yeah, we'll see what tomorrow brings. Hey, Jason and I, we're coming right back with the Half Empty Cup. Stay with us for it.